All right, Clara. In the previous part, we talked about our daily routine on a normal day, but now I want to talk about something a little different. The routine from Monday to Friday versus the weekend. I think my routine changes quite a lot. From Monday to Friday, I follow a more fixed schedule. I get up early, work many hours, and try to keep everything in order. Weekends, on the other hand, are more flexible. For example, on Saturday, I usually get up a bit later, around 8 or sometimes even 9. I like to sleep a little longer because I feel my body really needs it after a full week of work.
Of course, the same thing happens to me. During the week, I try to be very organized. I get up early, have a quick breakfast, get my things ready, and start working. But on the weekend, I allow myself to be more relaxed. Usually on Saturday, I get up a bit later and I make a longer breakfast, taking my time. Sometimes I make pancakes or I prepare fresh fruit with yogurt. It's a special moment because I can enjoy it without rushing, listening to music, or chatting with my family. For me, that's one of the great pleasures of the weekend. A calm, relaxed breakfast.
How wonderful, Clara. I also really enjoy weekend breakfasts. Sometimes I make scrambled eggs with bread or toast with avocado. I like cooking something different because it feels like a nice break from the normal weekday routine. After that, I usually spend some time cleaning the house. During the week, I'm very busy and I don't always have time to clean properly. So on Saturday morning, I organize, sweep, do the laundry, and get everything in order. It's a bit tiring, but I like it because afterward the house feels cleaner and more comfortable.
I also take advantage of the weekend to clean and organize. Sometimes I play cheerful music while I clean to make it more fun. I like opening the windows, letting in fresh air, and putting flowers on the table. It really changes the atmosphere in the house and makes me feel happy. After tidying up, I usually go out to do some shopping. On Saturday, I go to the supermarket to buy food for the week, fruits, vegetables, bread, milk. It's part of my weekend routine, and I think a lot of people do the same.
Yes, Clara, weekend shopping is a very common habit. I also go to the supermarket on Saturday, although sometimes I go on Sunday. I like choosing fresh products and planning what I'm going to cook during the week. Also, sometimes I stop by the local market where they sell fruits and vegetables directly from farmers. It's cheaper and the products taste better. After doing the shopping, I like to go back home and rest for a while.
Exactly. And after shopping, I often take the opportunity to go for a walk. On Saturday afternoons, I like to walk around the city center or visit my friends. Sometimes we go for a coffee or grab a bite to eat together. It's a moment to socialize, to talk and laugh. It's a complete break from the weekday routine when I'm busier with work. I feel like the weekend is a little breath of fresh air, a chance to disconnect and do things I enjoy.
I feel the same way. Saturday afternoon is such a nice time to hang out with friends or family. Sometimes we get together for a meal or just go for a walk in the park. Other times I stay home and watch a movie. It really depends on my mood. It's funny because even though weekends are supposed to be more relaxed, I still have a few little routines. For example, on Saturday night, I love having something special for dinner, like pizza or a burger. I know it's not the healthiest choice, but hey, it's my little reward after a long week.
I know exactly what you mean. I sometimes have pizza on Saturday night, too. I think it's kind of a tradition in many countries. Saturday is just the perfect day to eat something different, to relax and enjoy yourself. After that, I like to watch a movie or a TV show with my family. Sometimes I make some popcorn and we all sit together on the couch. It's such a simple thing, but really lovely because we get to share that moment together.
Sunday, on the other hand, is a little different. I usually wake up even later because I love to sleep in and recharge my energy. Sunday is my complete rest day. I like to have breakfast slowly, read a little, and not think too much about work. Sometimes I go for a walk in the morning, or I visit my parents. I spend more time with my family because during the week we don't always get the chance to see each other. For me, Sunday is definitely a family day.
That's so nice, Brian. For me, Sunday is also a very calm day. Sometimes I go visit my grandparents or I meet up with my friends. If the weather's nice, I love going out to the countryside or to a big park for a picnic. But if the weather's bad, I stay home and cook something special, like mac and cheese or maybe a cake. Cooking on Sundays is my way to relax and enjoy the moment. And I always think Sunday is the perfect time to get ready for the week ahead.
Yeah, totally. I also use Sunday afternoon to get ready for the week. I organize my desk, check my calendar, and think about everything I need to do. It's like a little ritual to start Monday with more clarity. Sometimes I even prepare some simple meals for the work week, like rice, chicken, or salads that I can keep in the fridge. That way, I save time during the week and I don't get too stressed.
Really good strategy, Brian. I do something similar. I lay out the clothes I want to wear, and I organize my work calendar. This way, on Monday morning, everything is clearer, and I can start the day with good energy. I think these little habits really make the week easier. And I believe our listeners can apply these ideas too. Just organizing a bit on Sunday to have a calmer week.
Now, Clara, I want us to talk about something even more interesting. How does our routine change when we're on vacation? For me, vacations are a special time because I break almost all my usual habits. For example, I don't set an alarm on my phone, so I wake up whenever my body feels ready. Sometimes it's early, sometimes later, but I always feel freer. Also, when I'm on vacation, I don't think so much about work. I try to relax, read books I enjoy, and spend time outdoors.
Yes, vacations change everything. I also take the chance to sleep more and to do things I normally wouldn't. For example, on vacation, I like going to the beach. There, my routine is completely different. I wake up, have a light breakfast, and go straight to the sea. I spend several hours swimming, sunbathing, or walking along the sand. Then I have fresh fish for lunch. In the afternoon, I just relax in a hammock, reading a book. It's a much calmer and happier routine.
How lovely, Clara. I also really enjoy the beach on vacation, but sometimes I prefer going to the mountains. There, my routine is waking up early for long hikes, breathing fresh air, and enjoying the scenery. After walking, I have a nice lunch, rest a little. And in the evening, I like to watch the stars. It's a magical experience because in the city, you hardly ever see so many stars. That vacation routine fills me with energy and makes me feel renewed.
Yes, Brian. That's the wonderful thing about vacations. We can completely change our routine, explore new places, and experience different things. Also, I think vacations teach us to appreciate our everyday life more. When we return home, we realize that the little things in our routine also have value. The morning coffee, the daily walk, dinner with the family. All of that is part of our life, and we should cherish it.
Very true, Clara. And now that we've talked about vacations and different routines, it seems like a good idea to give some advice to our listeners who are learning English. Talk about your routine in different contexts. Don't just say, I wake up, have breakfast, and work. You can also talk about what your routine is like on Saturdays, how it changes during vacations, or what you do when you're sick. This way, you practice more vocabulary and more real-life situations.
Excellent advice, Brian. Dear friends listening to us, remember that learning a language is like building a routine, little by little, with small steps, every day. You can write your routine in a notebook, practice in front of a mirror, or tell it to a friend. And of course, you can listen to us here on the podcast, like the video, and subscribe to the channel to keep learning with us.
Very well, Clara. We've already talked quite a bit about how our routines change during the week, on weekends, and on vacations. But there's still an interesting aspect we can discuss: the personal routines that each person has depending on their lifestyle. For example, some people have young children, and their routine is very different from ours. Others work at night and sleep during the day. I think we can talk about these differences in the next part. What do you think?
Sounds perfect to me, Brian. That way, our listeners can hear a variety of examples and learn useful vocabulary for many situations. Friends, don't go anywhere, because in the next part, we're going to talk about how routines change depending on lifestyle, family, and work. It's going to be very interesting.
All right then, that's all for today. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to keep practicing every day. Take care, and see you in the next episode.